Good morning. It's a great day for Mazda passionate fans. And last night, as I was uploading the last night's video, I received the press release from Mazda, which is exciting because they introduced 3 new crossovers. And we're going to cover that this morning as we're on the way to work, because I could not wait to share this exciting news with you. Stay tuned.
More car vids. More car vids.
In last night's video, we talked about 2 potentials for Mazda to either do an unveiling at the plant of the new name vehicle, or option 2, which is subsequently what Mazda chose, to have a press release that would announce the name. But I think I was a little surprised, because not only did they announce the name of the new crossover from Mazda Alabama, but also they shared 2 more crossovers that we kind of knew may be coming, but confirmation is always best, especially when it comes from the horse's mouth. So we will see not only this press release sharing these 3 new crossovers, which we'll jump into in just a minute, but I bet in the middle of November we'll actually see the unveiling of the CX-50 in Huntsville at Mazda Toyota Manufacturing. So I can't wait for that. Jumping into the CX-50, which will be the first vehicle to come next year, and how they're marketing this or advertising it is 3 new crossovers in 2 years. And I really think that we're going to see the CX-50 early in the year, and then the first large platform vehicle somewhere second half of the year. So the CX-50 will be coming out of the Mazda Toyota Manufacturing. It will be, as announced, on the Mazda 3 and CX-30 platform. So I don't know about you, but dodged a bullet with it not sharing the platform or many components, if at all, with the Corolla Cross. So we can expect the CX-50 to be very similar to, as far as underneath with that platform, similar to the CX-30 and the Mazda 3. So what does that mean exactly? I think that CX-50 entails that it will be a little bit larger than the current CX-5, and I'm driving one right now. So it will be a little bit larger. It's very similar to what they've done with the CX-8 overseas, how it's on that same platform of the CX-5, but a little bit longer. So basically it's a narrow body, but a longer vehicle. So I believe that's what the CX-50 will be. And it probably, or most likely, is the spy shots that we saw earlier in the year. Remember these with the wider fenders? And it will be surprising, although this spy shot vehicle had 20-inch wheels on it, which I love the wheel design. It will be surprising to see if the Mazda 3 CX-30 platform could sustain a 20-inch wheel as far as from the manufacturer. I know that it'll actually fit, but again, they're designing this all new, so they may have done this intentionally to further distinguish itself from the 19-inch wheels available on the CX-5 and the 19-inch wheels on the, the 18-inch wheels on the CX-30. So we'll have to see how that all comes together, and I believe it'll be the middle of November for the official unveiling, and I'm thinking that will be at the plant. So very similar to what we saw with the Corolla Cross. Since this is one company, MTM, they will be sharing all of those good news in the same fashion. I can't continue on with the other 2 crossovers until we address the Mazda 3 and CX-30 platform with the rear torsion beam suspension I know that a lot of you are not excited about that, especially since we'll be growing from the CX-5, which has four-wheel independent suspension with a multi-link in the rear, to a torsion beam, which they could change that, but I think they're going to stick with the exact platform. Also, that means that that will be a 2.5 liter Skyactiv engine, maybe with electrification later on, and a 6-speed transmission I expect to continue in this CX-50. All right, big news, big platform, jumping to the next two models, which will be on the new large platform. Both will be the possibility of rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Of course, I believe if they continue with the all-wheel drive strategy, that'll be all that we see in America. So this large platform is going to have the inline 6 and a plug-in hybrid component. So I don't think that Mazda was ready to jump into electrification on the CX-50, but they'll definitely be ready to roll out the CX-90, and then followed by the CX-70 on this large platform, inline 6 with electrification, or specifically as they listed, a plug-in hybrid. So that'll be fantastic. I still don't know if we'll see that immediately at rollout or if it'll be later in the year, but exciting to see some more hybrid availability, especially on our largest crossovers ever. So we'll see increased fuel economy and probably increased horsepower and torque. So overall driving performance will be increased, which is exciting. I do think, as they listed in order, the CX-90 and the CX-70, secondly, the CX-90 will be our third row SUV, as they've mentioned, and it will be replacing the CX-9. So that's actually coming earlier than what I expected, because I didn't think we would see the CX-90 until 2023 as a 24 model, but we may in fact see it, well, we will see it next year, I believe, as they've announced, as a 23 model. So that'll be fantastic, since we've been with the current gen CX-9 since 2016. It's time for a change. And this large platform, I believe, will be the wide body, so it'll be wider like the current CX-9, and more cargo and more passenger room, as this is definitely designed for the American market, and we like our space. Jumping into the CX-70, this is something that really came on my radar in the last couple of months, and it's from a lot of viewers like you. I did not think that we would see 3 new crossovers in America. I was really thinking that the CX-50 would be the next, or that large platform, and then the CX-90, so the CX-50 would become the new CX-7. However, as things started rolling out at MTM, I didn't exactly see them using the large platform, so I'm pumped about 3 new crossovers. And the CX-70 is going to be the same design as the CX-90, just a 2-row setup, or 5-passenger. So we'll have finally the SUV or crossover with really a lot of cargo room, and I think that the specs, exterior specs, are going to be very similar to the CX-90. What does this mean for the future of Mazda? As we continually see more uses of this large platform, the sky is truly the limit. The CX-90, of course, is going to be the largest crossover ever that Mazda's produced. We will see the CX-90 and the CX-70 in other markets across the globe, because those vehicles will probably or will definitely be assembled in Japan. And the CX-50 will only be available in the Americas, so the MNAO market, Canada, possibly Mexico, and definitely America, because it's coming out of Alabama. I don't expect, because of the late hiring and assembly, that Alabama will assemble 150,000 as was originally planned, for 2 reasons. Number one, they do not have a full staff of employees yet. As you remember from a video a couple days ago, they're now rolling out their second wave of hiring another 1,700 people for a total around 3,000 currently. But secondly, without the right amount of employees, they can't assemble all those cars. Secondly, as they're releasing new vehicles, there still is a global chip shortage. So to jump into 150,000 units in Alabama means that we would have to shortcut or reduce production of current products, CX-5, CX-9, etc., etc. So even though in America we won't see the CX-3 nor the Mazda 6, I don't think that's enough chip savings to get the full production in Alabama. However, I'm excited about the unveiling coming up in November. I can't wait to see. Of course, they're targeting the CX-50 as a more off-road vehicle, all-terrain, sticking with their all-wheel drive strategy, of course. So it will be interesting to see, and I believe the more rugged look will be those wider fender flares, or the fenders. Maybe not as large a fender flare as what we see on the CX-30, but maybe not as premium either. They are saying that the CX-70 and the CX-90 will be their upscale models for direct competition with most of your Highline manufacturers. So the CX-50 may be, I'm sure it'll have interior materials similar to the CX-30 and the CX-5. However, it won't be that targeted for that other market. But it will be a great addition. I do think that they can take the current chassis of the CX-30 and make it a little bit bigger. We've had a lot of rain this morning if you hear some extra road noise. But I do think they can make that body a little bit bigger on that platform and give us the space that we've always wanted on the CX-5. Of course, you know they will be still producing the CX-5. We will see that refresh. I think production will start with that in December, so we'll probably see that in January. And I really, again, with the hiring, I think production will probably begin in Alabama on the CX-50 in January. So we may start to see that in February or March. So more information to come from that. Definitely as we get closer to the unveiling, we'll have more information, more updates and press releases to share with you. Again, I wanted to get this video out as quick as possible since Mazda always releases things late because of their headquarters being on Pacific time. I did not expect a 7:30 Pacific announcement, which was 9:30 in the Central Time Zone. However, I'm excited to have this news, and CX-50, CX-90, CX-70, cannot wait for those to be a reality. So if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. As always, you can text me at 334-718-0504, and I'll keep sending you all the information I can from the Boulevard, and I'll see you on the next one.